Mr. Lewison.
So online falsehoods are a global problem. From developing to developed countries, they have seeded distrust, sparked violence, and shaped elections. Singapore is right to take a proactive stance against the spread of online falsehood. As we do so, I hope we can take a measured approach that balances the urgency of combating falsehood with the cost to society. I would like to thank the Minister for addressing the concerns about how long a minister will take to consider an appeal, and also the speed and cost of subsequent appeals to the High Court. I thank the Minister for providing assurances. As the Minister has already addressed many of my concerns I was going to raise, and as many members have raised many of the points I was going to raise, that's the luxury of being the last speaker, I just have 3 quick points for further clarifications. First, in addition to the process of an appeal to the High Court, can the Minister also provide details of how long it would take and how much it might cost when cases go on further appeal to the Court of Appeal? Will we also direct that the appeal be heard within a certain time frame? I understand that it might be difficult to provide an estimate, but would be grateful for a rough estimate of cost and timeline. Second, the Ministry has said that the bill does not cover satire or comedy. However, this exclusion is nowhere to be found in the bill. It is not uncommon for satire or comedy to exaggerate or invent facts by intention. At the same time, online falsehoods has sometimes been perpetrated, for instance, by state actors in the guise of comedy. Can the Minister elaborate on how satire and comedy will be excluded from the law? Lastly, sir, the fight against the spread of falsehood must also be the fight for the spread of truth. The battle against falsehood demands not only the stake, but also the carrot. Having the tools to react promptly to falsehood is important. However, the government cannot constantly be on the back foot, playing whack-a-mole whenever another falsehood pops up. If we want people to present the truth, we must demonstrate readiness to give the truth and them the data they need. Instead of being reactive, we can be proactive in spreading the truth by helping people who would like to report on the truth to obtain government data needed to verify their facts. This is not a new proposal. The Select Committee itself proposed that public institutions should, quote, preempt vulnerabilities and put out information in advance where possible to inoculate the public, unquote. The government should channel more resources and take greater effort to engage Singaporeans. It can do so by sharing data and information more frequently and in greater detail. Other countries have done so through the Freedom of Information laws. More than 80 countries have some form of freedom of information laws. These include those closest to us, such as China, India, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and Thailand. While Hong Kong has not legislated on the freedom of information, it has a code of access to information. This is a formal framework for access to information held by government departments. The code requires civil servants routinely or on request to provide information unless there are specific reasons for not doing so. Further, there are procedures for review of complaint if the provision of the code have not been properly applied. A concern may be that excessive openness may compromise national security. However, there are common exceptions in freedom of information laws around the world, including national security, public safety, prevention of criminal activities, and personal privacy. The freedom of information laws have been implemented to varying degrees of successes and effectiveness in these countries. With more than 80 case studies available, there are ample lessons that we can learn from both the successes and the failures. The Select Committee has suggested that the government should study the experiences of countries with freedom of information legislation and ombudsman. Can ministers share whether the government is looking into this and provide an update? So notwithstanding my clarifications, I stand in support of the bill.